Hey, okay. Hi. So this here, I bet you can't guess who it is. It's Mel person. Notice I said person. We're gonna get on that later on. But yeah, I'm basically doing another one of these videos. Just to who the hell's that? Just to you know, so I've been thinking a lot about stuff, and a lot of stuff has happened. So I like doing that over just gameplay videos. Even though I don't think I've ever publicly uploaded any examples, but yeah. Um, yeah, I guess for this team battle, so to speak, it'll have commentary that has nothing to do with the match, which is always a good formula. Um, but hey, I mean, that's just kind of how these go. Sometimes. But, Ollie throwing out the hot lines there. But yeah, that is lagging a fair bit. Also, since the run is just a model swap, um, it actually is Ollie's face, but it doesn't look. It somehow doesn't look anything like him. I'm not really sure how that works. Um, Usually, when you scale down stuff with the N64 for low res textures, this is kind of how it works. But did you just say I had no hair? But yeah, but it kind of to get back on the subject of things, or to get off of the subject of things, I kind of have changed a lot over the what the hell over you know um, changed in a few ways that some of my friends don't really know about. I mean, most of them do at this point, I believe, but I mean, there's some that's just like, you don't really know how to break it to them. The most obvious thing being is that I'm no longer, like, really a dude anymore. I mean, like, first off, if, like, you have a problem with that, like, you should probably just, stop watching anything that I make, really, because, I mean, I think most of my exposure is the mutant community, and let me tell you, they're not really, surprisingly, they're not the most delicate people when it comes to that. So, just clearing the air about that, and if you don't like the way that sounds, well, that's fucking tough, dude. I mean, like, I don't think, I really explain a lot of this stuff on my channel, because it's just, fun and games, and, I mean, this video still is, it's just, I'm talking about stuff that isn't on top of it, and also because I just really wanted to sit in front of the mic and talk for a while, because I haven't really done that in a while. It's been a while since I've streamed or anything, so it's like, but yeah, I mean, it's also just kind of like, the weird thing is, I barely told anybody about that, yeah, as these things tend to go. Out there on. But I've been involved with a partner since, like, what was it, like, October? And it's funny how almost easy that is to break to people, because she is also like me, so to speak. And You know, I didn't realize that there was two Alexes. But when it comes to you yourself, you know, because obviously, like with the partner, like, you know, my family and friends haven't known her for like years and years and years. So when it comes to myself, that's understandably a bit harder. But I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, it's just kind of a self-identification thing that I kind of want to move towards being more feminine, but I don't really have the resources. And it's just kind of like, I've kind of reached a point where I'm like, when people have known me for a while that, like, I haven't really noticed anything, I'm kind of just laid back about that, but it kind of sucks that I have to be, honestly, because that's just, I mean, you know, I mean, people, you know, find it hard to really adapt to that, and, you know, I never really did. I mean, you know, once, I mean, shit, one of my friends just kind of decided to change her name, and I'm, you know, I don't really have problems adapting to that. I mean, hell, one of my sister's dogs, has like 8 names, and I've adapted to each one of them. I don't know why they can't decide on a name for that guy, but I mean, that's far from the same thing. Don't get me wrong. Jeez. But it just goes to show, like, how amazing it is that people can't really, like, even my mom, like, my girlfriend pretty much had to, like, kind of be referred to another name just because my mom couldn't really memorize it. Because her original name, I don't know if it's, like, her dead name, because she still uses it a lot. It's kind of a complicated thing. And I think she said she doesn't really want me to refer to her by name on the internet, so it's just kind of like, you know. But she had, like, a typical male name. Very common one, by the way. And it's like, my mom had an inability to remember that this was a woman that we were talking about. And she kind of had to change her name on that, and it's like, I'm surprised how hard it is for certain people, you know? Either that, or it's just laziness. I mean, just kind of like, I don't want to, that's bullshit, I don't want to, like, you know, change everything I've known. It's like, it's such a big deal. It's just like a couple of things. It's like, you know, when you... Like, if like, you had a job as a butcher, and then you decided to become an accountant, it's not like it's hard for people to really say, like, you know, hey, there's the accountant. You know, like, they kind of, I mean, it's obviously not very hard for the majority of people who, I'll give my mom slack because I think she might have memory problems at this point, but... like, I mean, obviously, you know, for the most part, it's just that people don't want to do it. I mean, like, it's just weird how spiteful people are about that kind of stuff, you know, it's like, I mean, it's like one thing to forget, because even, like, a couple of times I forget with certain people, that's just because, like, you know, my memory is also really bad, but it's, you know, I also don't talk to them in real life, so I don't, I have a lot of time to hit the backspace before I fuck up. But it's just like, you know, what I'm saying is it's not hard. It's not hard at all. But, you know, it's... I was about to say, like, you know, for, like, games and, like, the game's community, as you would call it, because God knows the fucking term gamers is, like, not really a desirable thing at this point. you know, a lot of that stuff is like, I don't know. It's amazing how many people think that terms were invented by a recent blogging site, even though they've been around for quite a while before that. I mean, I don't even delve into much of the history because I'm not one for history in general, but it's just that people are annoyed that these people exist. That's just kind of what it is. But I'm essentially preaching to the choir here while Muhammad Ali is just knocking people the fuck out. And his moves are mostly from the first Virtual Pro Wrestling, so none of this is my fault. But, yeah, I mean, you know, some of my real life friends, the few that I have, they're considerably older than me. I think like the mid-30s or something. And it's really awkward for, like, that's really awkward because there's been more than a few times where it's like they made uncomfortable jokes. I'm sure, like, if I told them, like, you know, like, hey, I go out and I translate it, cut that shit out, they would probably, you know, cut it out, but the fact that there's even something to cut out is the problem, you know? Like, one guy that I play, like, the only guy I play Chaos Code with, because, you know, online and all that, was, like, slightly, like, sort of knew what Catherine's deal was, and it kind of disturbed me when he was, like, pondering if it was, like, you know, like a transgender thing or something, and he just ended that conversation with, I don't really want to think about it, and it's like, alright, dude, thanks for that. But, you know, I mean, obviously that's a horrible thing. Like, there's just, you know. But it's like, I could just say, like, you know, me and my partner are technically that. But technically, I don't know why I keep saying that. And again, like, unless he's just, like, the biggest dick in the world, he would probably stop. But again, it's just like, why was that even a question in the first place, you know? It's just like... And like, really, there's worse things in fighting games to think about than the fact that one might identify as a female. The game itself doesn't really... Like, I think it... Like, the one time they used a pronoun that said she, and there was a question mark next to it. Which, like, yeah, thanks for that, developers, because I'm sure you guys have some great opinions yourselves, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just like with Bridget and shit. Yeah, it does kind of come off sometimes like it's just kind of a either like a not derivative, I can't think of the word, just kind of like a joke at their expense kind of thing, or some kind of like fucked up fetish thing, because that's absolutely what Bridget is. Like, don't even, like, I mean, he has that one wind pose, like, that kind of says it all really. I guess Catherine's a bit more innocuous in that it's just, you know, somebody that really enjoys cosplay, but then it's just like, oh, they're like, you know, they have a crush on this one dude, and it's like, it's funny because, like, it's a possible, well, it's, because at that point it's kind of a non-binary thing, but this person, you know, wants to get together with this dude. And that's the funny part. It's like, fuck, dude. You know? There are way funnier things about that character than that. Which, yeah, that's their ending. a hell of a payoff there. But by hell of a payoff, I mean, ugh. But that's just, you know, unfortunately how these things go. Like, I think even, like, you know, you have stuff like, Fox from Bloody Roar, where they got so, like, they got so concerned over that they just turned it into like a full-on lady in the stateside version. It's just like, why, like, I don't get it, you know? It's I don't know. I mean, like, the fact that that is shit that gets censored, but not shit like, the pantsless 11-year-old girls in Arcana Heart are totally fine. It's just like, I don't know. I think that says a lot. I mean, obviously, I think we've moved on from the time where it's like we had to change genders just to make people comfortable or make it more accessible, so to speak. Because, I mean, the 90s kind of did shit like that, like, more than once. Like, if you remember, the hell was that character named? Cherry from Fighter's Destiny? Like, that was just a full-on female in the stateside versions, and the original it was like a guy with a comical voice because, haha, he cross-dresses. And I guess that doesn't happen anymore, like, but I don't know. I mean, we got a long ways to go, obviously. I mean, you still got shit like, hey, it's Johnny Kamala. I mean, you still got shit like, what can I think all of a sudden? Is Randy from Trailer Park Boys really that distracting to have on screen for some reason? Yeah, by the way, I mainly said that sentence just so you know who the hell he was. But, yeah, I forgot what the hell I was even talking. Oh, right. Yeah, like, you know, I mean, there's shit like, you know, I played Street Fighter V, like, Saturday? I already forget, the days kind of flew by this week. That, like, like, that Laura character is, like, they made a lie-down pose specifically so the viewer would have a clear view of her ass, and it is the most, like, you remember, like, in the Capcom game, the way the way Dio would lie down on the ground? It looks that unnatural. It's really strange. I mean, like, it would be strange if, the intent wasn't the most obvious thing in the goddamn world. Because apparently you need sex appeal in a genre where people beat the shit out of each other. And sometimes murder each other. Thanks, Mortal Kombat. You probably invented Riona, or whatever the hell those creepy videos are. Like, I don't understand. Like, ideally, I don't think the right genre to get your rocks off of, but there is an appropriate video game genre for that to even happen. Is like, again, a genre where people beat the shit out of each other. It's like making a sexy character in this game, you know? Which, I think in a couple of Aki games that technically has happened, but that's more, you know, real-life Wrestling Federation's fault than, you know, Aki's fault. But, you know, I mean, obviously there's a lot of problems just basically everywhere. You know, we got that bill that passed. I don't know many of the details about it, because, because honestly I didn't want to think too much about it, but here we are, really. Although I guess it helps if Muhammad Ali is beating the shit out of Trailer Park Boys characters while I talk about it. I mean, hopefully it's just gonna be one of those... holy shit! But, you know, I mean... Like I said, the fact that I even have to really hesitate on being like, hey, I'm pretty much a girl now. Yeah, obviously is a problem. The fact that I can't just say that and people are cool with it, is obviously a problem. Also, here's what I looked like back in 2012. That's my face from 2012. I just kind of threw it in there. But, yeah. And the fact that I even, like, prefaced this video saying, like, if you don't like it, just get the hell out of here. That is also a problem, because I shouldn't have to worry about that. I mean, I don't really worry about it, because YouTube subscribers and whatever, but I don't know. I feel, it's just kind of a weird place, because I feel more comfortable identifying that way. But again, at the same time, I'm kind of forced to, I guess not really forced, but, it just sounds so exhausting, to kind of have to constantly reinforce it. It's like, again, I shouldn't have to, but apparently it's a hard concept for people. I even, like, this is another story, is that my relationship kind of accidentally got found out on Facebook. So, of course, like, my parents, well, I mean, my mom always knew, because, she's pretty open-minded when it comes to this stuff, thank God. But my dad's, like, he's perpetually stuck in the 50s, as they say. In more ways than one, I'll just say that much. But anyway, yeah, he found out. I had to pretty much explain everything. I mean, he couldn't even figure, like, he couldn't even process the fact that what bisexuality was. Like, he was literally like, I just don't get that. So it's very easy to understand. And like, because of that, I don't even think I brought up the fact that she was technically, yeah, there is technically, she was a lady, because he thought it was just like a straight up male. And I think my mom broke the news to him, and he was just kind of like, thankfully, like, it kind of has this weird feeling where it kind of feels like he doesn't think that highly of the concepts present, but he's just kind of cool with me doing whatever, which, I mean, obviously, that's a lot better than what most people, like her, and me, sort of. I say sort of because, like, I don't really know how to... It's kind of new to me. I mean, I only felt that way kind of like a month ago. But that, I'm still working on kind of dressing that way. Which again, I mean, money, resources, all that shit. And Muhammad Ali pretty much murdered everybody, including myself. What a guy. I should have just put one person on that team, because apparently him punching people is so powerful that he just wiped out an entire team. But, I feel a little less stressed after that. Yeah, all these people that did all the work. But, yeah, I mean, I think I've said all the shit I've needed to say. And, and the bottom line is, if you're not okay with any of that, then, that's some tough shit there, buddy. But yeah, I what the hell? What? Did I just, it seems that we're having a bit of technical difficulty here. Thank God the video actually is still there. 25 minutes in. But yeah, I mean that's kind of all I had to say, which wasn't much, but you know, letting off some steam, so to speak, and yeah, hopefully I can start doing more streams and shit. This weekend is definitely not gonna happen, but yeah, I suppose I will see you guys later, and hopefully, in one way or another, have been informed of new info. So, you know, uh, hopefully this video of Muhammad Ali beating the shit out of people effortlessly and then ending on a freeze frame because Project 64 is a piece of shit is informative in some way. So, until then, adios, arrivederci, sayonara, and smell you later.